It's Make Ahead Monday. This week we have a holiday twofer with some traditional favorites for Hanukkah and Christmas. Here to help us, we've got Jamie Geller, food and lifestyle expert and the author of Brisket 101.
Yum.
And Jocelyn Delk Adams, cookbook author and creator of Grandbaby Cakes. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
So we got some savory, we got some sweet. Let's start. You must love brisket if you want a whole cookbook about it.
I love it. My husband loves it. My
Who
6
doesn't?
kids love it. It feeds the family.
Yes.
So that's really, really
Great
good.
leftovers.
What's the most comforting thing? It's amazing. But if you do want leftovers for Make Ahead Monday, double this recipe because you're going to gobble it up. So we're going to start with nice salt and pepper. Sear the brisket on both sides, right? That develops layers of flavor. Then you come in here and we have our mirepoix, which is fancy for onions, carrots, and celery. Not much. Okay, we're going to then sear our tomato paste down here. Make sure you get that nice and dark and red. That's what's going to bring out the flavor in here. We add some garlic just for the last minute or two because you don't want burnt garlic. That makes it bitter. Exactly. And then we're going to deglaze. So you can use wine, you can use beer, you can use water, but why? Right? So we get that in here. We get some beef broth in here. And, of course, we're using a second cut brisket because fat equals flavor.
Yes.
We're going to cover that up. Not before we put in our bouquet garni, which is just a bunch of great herbs, parsley, bay leaves, rosemary, and some lemon zest.
You're going to put the brisket in on top of that?
We're going to put the brisket in the oven, low and slow.
So we put this
brisket on top of that. Thank you. Al, thank God you're here. I was going to put that in without it. Low and slow.
that would be very disappointing.
300 degrees until it's buttery soft.
Right.
And then the vegetables underneath are amazing.
Everything is amazing.
You strain it off,
Yeah,
you make a little
strain
gravy.
it off, you reduce that down, you ideally put this in the fridge and slice it when it's cold. That's how you get those nice, beautiful, thin slices.
Oh, my goodness,
Then you
look at
rewarm
that.
it gently. I know.
Taking that home.
Juicy.
Oh, my
God,
God.
go for it.
I know.
It's all you.
Why am I standing here watching this?
Yeah.
And I just
So good. I came all the way to make this for you guys.
Now, you got some leftovers. You got a great way to take some latkes.
So, it's the holiday. Latkes are the classic food. It's also great if you're gluten-free. You just take some shoestring potatoes, use the food processor, salt and pepper, some either cornmeal or potato starch, some eggs, fry them up. Don't overcrowd the pan. That's how you get nice crispy latkes. Top it with some pulled barbecue brisket. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and then that's really nice and heavy. This is really nice and crispy, and then top it with some fresh arugula. I say it's great for the holiday, or if you just love food and love life, substitute that bun for a latke.
So did you put barbecue sauce?
Oh, yeah, barbecue sauce.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to try it.
I can't wait for you, babe.
I know. So this is basically a sweet dish that you can prepare for, Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever, all the holiday long. You start with a sweet potato casserole, and we're going to start with sweet potatoes that we peeled. We've also boiled these, cubed them,
Could you
and
use
then
the pan if you were running short?
You could. I won't tell anybody.
Okay.
I
No
won't tell
judgment.
anybody. My mama might be like side-eyeing you, but it's okay. We're gonna add in some whipping cream. We're gonna add in some brown sugar. You can get that in there, and then also some vanilla, some cinnamon, some nutmeg, some butter.
And you whip it all together.
Whip it all together. It's almost like a sweet potato mash. Mashed sweet potato
Very
at that
close
point.
to the sweet potato poon.
Or pone,
Or
as
pone.
my family would say. Hey, we've got that debate all the time,
This is a whole nother,
and then we put that right into our dish, and then we start with kind of a crumble where you have some flour, you have brown sugar,
that's
and then
just the foundation.
I like to use oats. So this is for people who have nut allergies, like my daughter, or you can use pecans. Exactly. So the oats are a nice variation. You're going to bake that up with some marshmallows, and it's so good. It's so good. So this is what you can do to kind of switch this around. You can make dessert. So we're going to scoop out some of that sweet potato at the bottom, and then we're going to turn that into a no-bake cheesecake. We're just going to add that to a bowl with some whipped cream. Also kind of fold that in. It's going to be so light and fluffy.
Do you do it?
Yeah, just fold it in like this. Nice whisk. Add that together really slow. This is like a nice zen thing to do after you've been like totally crazy with the chaos of the holidays. Yeah, and then we're going to add a little bit of our graham cracker to the bottom. We'll scoop some of this no-bake cheesecake right in, and then top with a little whipped cream. I know this is great, right? And it's so simple. And then add a little of our cinnamon to the top, and you just entertain.
You have this.
Oh my
is-
goodness.
Now, how, can you do these like ahead of time and
You
put them in the
totally
fridge?
can. Put them
Oh
in
my
the
gosh.
fridge. You want them to kind of set up and then serve them when the guests come.
This is going on my holiday menu.
I know, right?
I love it.
So easy,
If
right?
all of this was
my
the meal,
goodness.
good lord.
Hello,
This is all I
right?
need. It's so good.
When you're going to the butcher, you're asking for a brisket. What are you looking for?
Second cut brisket. Remember, we said fat equals flavor. You want the more marbleized brisket. First cut, a little drier, less forgiving. This one, you just can't mess up.
Brisket 101.
Yeah.
Guys, this is a win. This is phenomenal.
Love it.
You're welcome, America.
And it's a tie. Like I'm going
Jamie,
back and forth.
Jocelyn, thanks so much. I know you're about to jump on a plane
Yes,
to Israel.
yeah.
So
Get
thanks
it
so
on
much.
holidays.
Thanks so much. And you can find all these recipes and more at today.com/food.
All right, so after everybody wakes up tomorrow, opens up all the gifts from Santa, it's time to eat. But you know what? You don't want to spend all morning in the kitchen.
No, we can't. So we've got sweet and savory brunch ideas that you can start today to make your Christmas morning merry and bright from our pal, one of our favorites, Ryan Scott, of Ryan Scott To Go Catering.
Ryan.
Christmas Eve.
Yes.
Finally, my daughter's going to know like what Santa is. I'm so excited about this. But I want to show you dishes that you can make today for tomorrow to make it a lot easier for you.
Okay.
That way we
Great
can do
idea.
nothing, right?
Okay.
All right. So here's what I have. We're going to do my version of Wellingtons, and Hoda looked like, what's a Wellington?
What's a Wellington?
It's basically, this is minus the beef. We're going to do a puff pastry with eggs and bacon and cheese, and then you bake them, and they're little pockets that you
Like
get
a
to
hot
eat.
pocket.
Like a hot pocket. So what
Okay.
you do is, Jenna, you do this. I'm going to have you scramble the eggs.
Okay.
Okay, so you cook your eggs ahead of time, and don't cook them too much to where you don't want them to,
Be dried
overbake in the
out.
oven.
Yeah.
So you kind of keep them running? Is that what you're
Right,
saying?
a little on the runny side, a little bit of salt and pepper, and here's my trick, and a lot of people think this is weird. Here's my catering trick. You add a little mayonnaise or sour cream in there.
Oh, sour
You don't have to add the mayonnaise. Hoda, don't add mayonnaise.
But
I'm
what
so
do-
sorry.
what does it do?
So what
Tell
this
us.
does, it keeps it from turning green. Your eggs won't be green when they're finished cooking at the end. A little bit of sour cream at the end. I know this sounds weird. This
Or what
is
about milk? Does it do the same thing?
No, it won't.
I'm in.
So-
A girl had to ask.
All right, so you add a little bit of sour cream at the end, Hoda, and it keeps the eggs looking nice and fluffy and yellow.
It does look
All right,
pretty.
let's do a little Christmas Eve throwdown. What
Okay.
you're going to try to do is make one of these.
All right, we
So
can
you
do
put eggs on one side. You can add bacon and scallions and Parmesan
Yum.
cheese if you want. You can put that on top, or loads of bacon, which is delicious.
Did I
And-
overdo it?
No, this is perfect. That's Texas style, girl. It's nice and big. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now take your brush and brush the outside, because what we're going to do
With what? Oh.
with the brush.
Okay.
There you go. Sorry. With what? The brush that's there. So brush the outside, and what you're going to do is now fold it over the top, Hoda, like this, and we're going to make a Wellington or a little pocket.
Pocket.
All right.
You put some more gook here.
So my advice, if y'all are doing this at home, is don't stuff
Don't
it too much.
overstuff
I
it.
might have overstuffed.
Well, I put 7 ounces of eggs there, so it's going to take
Okay.
that. All you do now is take your fork and you crimp the outside, just like so,
Yeah,
Jenna.
yeah.
And then they come out. Go, Hoda. That looks
Crimping.
great, Hoda.
Thank you.
Phenomenal. Hoda, come try this one that I made for you that's already done.
Okay.
So here's the deal.
And do you brush
Yummy.
it with butter?
A little bit of butter, and you cut the top. Here's my trick at home. Make these ahead of time. I bake them ahead of time, and I freeze them individually. And so for my daughter, the next day, you wrap it in a wet paper towel, microwave it for 30 seconds, and it's already cooked and done.
That's
Make a cooked dish.
unbelievable.
Is this Hoda Jenna approved?
Yeah.
Yes.
And by the way,
Oh,
that's just store-bought.
puff pastry, super easy.
We could do that.
Yes, you can. Here's the thing. There's a bet going on back with the food team that this has never worked for me. So I owe the whole food team
Let's go.
dinner if this works. Shoot. All right. You hear that? That was my credit card. That was a big bill. What I have here is cream cheese, cream, and eggs. We are making my version of pumpkin baked French toast.
Wow.
Hot
That
in a
sounds
pan.
awesome.
So Hoda, come here. What
What?
you're gonna do?
Come.
That's this mixture whisked up. Now, Jenna, add some eggs.
Yes, sir.
Eggs.
All right, we're gonna add some milk because it's super light and really good for Christmas,
I
kind
know.
of on
Is
your
it
waistline.
sugar?
That is sugar. Only about half a cup.
my
Some
word.
vanilla.
I love vanilla.
And then the cornucopia of all the delicious.
What's that?
Hoda, guess one. Guess one
Cinnamon.
of these. Okay,
Let me try one.
you
Nutmeg.
try one.
Nutmeg.
Yes, clove. Yes, and some ginger and some salt. This whole mixture now,
What's
and
that?
that's a little bit of maple syrup if you want to add that in there too.
I mean, do we need it?
add a little sugar. Just wear your pajamas all day after you make the Ryan Scott food. Not a big deal.
So
all right.
now
so now we're gonna take our
soak
challah.
it. Challah.
Ready? 1, 2, 3 to the camera.
Challah. Okay.
All right. So we
So you
soak
soak
all
it.
this. The cool thing about this dish is this can sit overnight and soak
In the
up.
So you
fridge?
leave it like that?
Yes, and you put it in this pan.
Oh,
In the
that pan.
fridge.
In the fridge. Now, here's a trick. To bake this, I'm going to put this in the oven at 400 degrees. Carry this over to the oven, and when you go into the oven, add some hot water around the outside.
Why?
That way it cooks from outside to in. Thank you. Huh? Try this. Please try this.
Okay.
Don't ever carry this tray to the oven with the water. Otherwise, don't tag me when you don't make the dish, because it won't turn out really well.
You want
All right,
syrup.
I've been waiting Hoda and Jenna's
Yeah.
look on this. Oh, you're going to
Okay,
put
hold on.
You
You
told
have
me about
to.
the sugar.
Yeah, but we got to have syrup.
Go, girl.
I know.
All right.
We have to have a syrup.
Ready?
That's a really big bite.
Right.
One,
Two.
I'll just eat this
three.
one. Pumpkin French toast that you can do the night before that's baked and delicious, right? Right?
Okay.
Right? Having a culinary moment right now.
Could you?
Merry Christmas to both of you.
You've emptied your stockings and all those gift boxes. Now we're going to help you empty out your fridge.
Today, contributor Siri Daly is here with a recipe that'll transform your Christmas leftovers into a delicious new meal. So that's what you do with all this stuff,
let's
right?
clean it up.
So if you're like us, well, you have a lot of food
Yes.
at any holiday.
Yeah.
And we usually have some sort of roast around Christmas
Sure.
time. So we have a lot of leftover beef. So I'm going to make a beef stroganoff today.
yum. Love it.
And it's one of Carson's favorite things to eat. And since we're going to start our diet on January 1st, it's lovely comfort food, right? So there's the beef. We're going to use some carrots, some onions, and some mushrooms, some garlic, and we'll get to all that in a little bit. First step, just add your veggies.
And what kind of mushrooms do you like, Siri? Does it
you know,
matter?
for this, it really doesn't matter. I like
Okay.
to use like Baby Bella. Sometimes the cremini ones are great. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to let that saute for a little bit until it starts to caramelize. And then, Kathy Lee, do you want to add the garlic and thyme? And, you know, you're just going to let that sort of saute and season and smell your house up.
And you're
There's
not.
nothing better than...
I'm sorry. Are you using any kind of oil in it?
There's some olive oil in the
Okay.
pan. Yep.
Okay.
And then we'll just season it with some salt and pepper.
Okay.
You want to do the pepper? Great. And then over here, this is what it looks like after it's been caramelized for a while. We're going to add some red wine.
Okay.
And
Siri, did you-
deglaze the pan.
Did you
as they
always
say.
love cooking when you were a kid? Was that something that was your...
especially during the holidays. Don't add all of that in. It's okay.
Exactly. Stop.
Just keep, I'll tell you when to stop. Keep
Okay.
going, keep going, keep going. Just leave like a little, like maybe fourth cup. And I'll show you what we're going to do with that. So this is going to cook for about 5 minutes and start to thicken.
Okay.
And then with the, you did it perfectly. So this is cornstarch, and we're going to make like a little roux. Exactly. And that is
My
going
roux the
to...
day.
Yes.
Yes.
That's going to thicken it up even more.
Now, are the kids
All right.
into cooking?
They
Siri?
are,
They
especially especially Jack, my oldest.
Really?
Yeah, he's really into it right now. Of course, he
Cool.
wants like his own knife.
Oh,
and I'm
no.
like, maybe
Not
next
happening
year. Maybe next year, yeah. So there's the sauce. It's all nice and thick.
Okay.
And because the beef has already been cooked, we're going to add it at the very end because we don't want to
Overcook it.
Overcook it, exactly. We just want to warm it
So
through.
you just cubed it up.
And then that's some creme fraiche that we're going to add in. And you can use, sour cream.
Yeah,
if you
that's
don't
what
have
I've always
that.
associated
Yeah.
with stroganoff,
Yes,
the
yes,
sour cream.
Yes, exactly. And there we have it. And
That's it?
Wait,
that's
are you
it.
kidding? No.
Isn't that easy?
We don't think that's
so
it.
easy. And then you're going to serve it over some egg noodles.
That sounds
and
delicious.
I like to top mine with some parsley and some
What-
Parmesan.
Siri, what's like the big Christmas dinner that you and Carson enjoy on the holidays? Like if you're going to have one meal.
You know, he actually makes delicious steaks. So
Carson
this year
does?
we did steak, and it was so good. And I make his mom's mashed potatoes, and yeah, food is
this will
food
be
is
a
memory.
Christmas
Yeah,
without-
exactly.
And do
That's
you
what's-
guys like just kind of basic stuff like
simple
meat, potatoes?
comfort food.
Yes.
Exactly. And then dessert, of course. And because it's National Candy Cane Day, I also have pickle candy cane marshmallow. No, I'm just kidding.
Gross.
Those are gross.
The wasabi.
Regular candy cane marshmallows, and those are homemade marshmallows that you can make with some
What do you mean homemade
gelatin.
marshmallows?
The recipes online.
Is
Yeah,
that
homemade
right?
marshmallows, yeah.
Okay, hold on, Siri. Here you go. This is
Okay,
for you.
thank you so much.
I'll get this one
What do we
over
think?
here.
Mushrooms.
Let's
do
get
I.
some mushrooms. And you can use any kind of noodles you
Any
like.
kind of noodles.
It
You can
doesn't.
serve it over rice, but real
good.
stroganoff is the
Siri, yummy.
Home run, honey. For these recipes, head to today.com/food.
Back now at 8:45 with Today Food as we put the finishing touches on our Ultimate Thanksgiving series. It is time for one of the best parts of Thanksgiving, the leftovers. Justin Smiley is the author of Slow Fires and the chef at Upland here in New York, and is here to turn your turkey and stuffing into some delicious new meals. Great to have you with us.
Great to be here.
We've been very excited about this segment all morning long.
Super
Especially
stoked to
because
be
you're
here.
mixing it up a little bit for us. This is not just a turkey sandwich.
No, we can. I mean, growing up, that's typical we got to eat, but I love salad and pasta, so we're going to kind of mess it up a little
So
bit.
you have two options for us. The first one is a salad.
So it's a kale and Brussels sprout salad, a little anchovy, some Dijon vinaigrette, and a little bit of lemon juice.
And you're going to use specifically the turkey leg, right?
The turkey leg, which is slow roasted, and it's like, in my family, a lot of white meat eaters.
Yes.
And there's always a lot of
So this is what we have left over.
Exactly.
Okay, so you sort of cut it up a little bit,
Shred
right?
it up a little bit, and then we're going to do a quick little toasting in the pan.
To make it kind of crispy, right?
Super crispy, yeah.
Give it a nice crunch, a good sizzle there. And how long do these cook for? Just until they're kind of brown?
So yeah, this cooks for about 3 to 4 minutes
Okay.
until like lightly golden brown.
So pretty quick. So we're cooking the turkey. We're also cooking up some almonds.
Absolutely. So we toast these lightly. They take about 8 to 10 minutes, and then when they're done, we dress them with a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of sea salt.
And you just roast them in a dry pan?
Dry
before that?
pan. I mean, one of the major reasons for that is you don't want to denature the olive oil, and it kind of keeps it fresher and fruitier and like brighter on top.
I love these little tips. All right, so this is crisping up. We've got our almonds, a little bit of salt, and now for the greens.
We have a little bit of lacinato kale.
Okay.
And the tip with this is it's kind of a sturdier green.
Yeah.
So I like to rough it up a little bit.
Is this the whole massaging kale thing I've heard so much about?
Exactly.
Okay.
So a quick little roll, and then we're going to do a little julienne.
And so when you roll it up like that, obviously it's easier to get a nice
Makes it
uniform
easier to
chop,
handle.
too.
Exactly. And then we're going to
So
take
there's
the
your kale.
Brussels sprouts.
Same thing there.
Exactly. And I like to cut them kind of top to bottom to kind of show off the natural architecture of the vegetable.
And then we leave that intact. We don't cut it anymore, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
A little breaking up. Kind of just mix it all in here.
So we've shaved, we've chopped, and you make your own dressing.
I do.
I'm a big fan of that, I have to admit. I do the same. What do you put in it?
So again, it's a little olive oil, a little sweet and sour vinegar, known as agrodolce, a little bit of chopped anchovy, some shallot, and some olive oil.
Great.
And then we're going to take this kind of crisped up turkey leg, kind of break it into little pieces, some bigger pieces, some smaller pieces.
Yep.
Kind of helps bring the salad together.
Do you need the almonds?
The almonds.
There we go.
Thank you.
You know what's nice too? The green, I feel like it makes me feel healthier the day after Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
Excellent. So that's all tossed and beautiful, and then you put a little shaved parm right on top?
A little shaved parm right on top. Just right into the bowl.
Perfect.
Whoa.
All right, so we've got our salad. I'm going to have you shave that, and then I'm going to move you back to the one we've really been waiting on all morning, I have to be honest. Your new take on stuffing. Okay, so we move back here.
Yep.
We've got dish number 2. So this is we've got our separate board right here. This is what to do with our leftover stuffing. We're making hash.
Making a little hash. So basically, whatever stuffing is left over kind of at the end of your Thanksgiving meal, I like to press it a little bit.
Okay.
So we kind of cut out a little cardboard insert, and then overnight, we just kind of put a little number 10
And so
can on
is
top
this
of it.
just so that it really kind of sticks together so you can get it in the pan?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So that when you're frying it, it might come apart ever so slightly. But you just want to kind of get like all these little crispy bits and kind of make it like a little bed for the hash.
Okay.
And we're just going to put it on the plate like so.
Yep. So this is a great. Now, if people are watching and maybe didn't press their stuffing overnight, you could still use the stuffing,
You can still
right?
sizzle it and kind of like roll it around and have kind of like the little crispy, gnarly bits. And then who doesn't love a fried egg the morning after
Perfect.
Thanksgiving?
I think now we need to do a little sampling.
And a little bit of arugula.
A little arugula. And I know Willie and Chanel and Dylan are downstairs with their plates.
So good. The salad is really
Can you hand me
good.
one of those forks, Justin?
Absolutely.
All right.
I've been eating every night.
I don't know if that tells you anything.
And it's all good in my mouth.
You've all been very quiet. I find
I
that's
know,
usually
so
a good
good.
sign. Now, did you cook yesterday? I always wonder if the chef cooks on
I
Thanksgiving.
let my mother do the work
You did?
yesterday.
Nice.
Does she ask you for
Smart
tips?
man.
I ask her for tips.
You do. See? Always comes back to mom, doesn't it? And who came up with the hash? Was this something your mom would do, or did you come up with it?
This is something I
you?
kind of worked at, after doing many years in the restaurant.
Oh my gosh, delicious. I love it.
Thank you.
So good. Justin Smiley, thanks for coming in.
Thanks
Happy
for having me.
Thanksgiving, a day late.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Good luck with your shopping today. We have even more leftover ideas for you at today.com/food.